Should a person marry in their early 20s? There is a very common saying among writers which says that when you are confused about who you should write your story for, the most obvious and the best answer is don't write it for everyone. Write it for only one person for who you know this will definitely be helpful. So when you are thinking of trying to find your niche or trying to decipher who your target audience is, it's very important to not think of if millions of people would like it. Just think if one person would love it with all their heart and then create that piece of writing, whatever form it may be. Hi everyone, my name is Anangsha Alammyan and welcome back to my channel. Today I want to practice what I preach, and this is a video that I created for one specific person, a girl who works with me, a young woman, I shouldn't call her girl, a young woman who works with me. She is just out of college, she is in her early 20s, and she asked me a question: should a person marry in their early 20s? Because Indian parents, आप सबको तो पता ही होगा, इंडियन पेरेंट्स बोलते हैं कि 25 के पहले शादी कर लो तो लाइफ सेट हो जाएगी. दे हैव अ लॉट ऑफ एक्सपेक्टेशंस फ्रॉम पीपल कि 25 से पहले कर लो, नहीं किया तो 30 से पहले तो कर लेनी ही चाहिए. अगर 30 तक भी आपकी शादी नहीं हुई तो सोसाइटी, पेरेंट्स आपको ऐसे नज़र से देखेंगे, लगेगा आपने कुछ क्राइम कर लिया क्या. Sadly, that is the reality of how things are like in India, and it's a very common practice, especially in some states. Not, I wouldn't say all Indian states, but कुछ states में ये बहुत माना जाता है that you need to marry in your early 20s, especially if you are a woman. And रही बात सपनों की, वो तो शादी के बाद भी कर सकते हो. There is that very common saying which you might have heard from your parents as well, that if you want to fulfill your dreams, you can do it after marriage as well. If you want to go on a trip, you can do it with your spouse. If you want to study or work somewhere, you can do everything after marriage. But nobody says, prepares us for the kind of struggles that marriage can actually bring. So इस वीडियो में मैं आपको कुछ भी हॉरर स्टोरी नहीं सुनाने वाली हूँ, ऑल्दो आई नो अ लॉट ऑफ हॉरर स्टोरीज ऑफ what happened to some of my friends who got married in their early 20s, but I don't want to spoil your impression about it. I want to give you a very impartial view of this topic. And इससे पहले कि हम स्टार्ट करें, मैं ये क्लियर करना चाहती हूँ, आई वॉन्ट टू मेक इट क्लियर दैट दिस इज़ जस्ट एन ओपिनियन वीडियो and it's also backed by some statistics. So watch at your own risk, because what I'm going to say contains a lot of unpopular opinions. So the question, should I get married in my early 20s? The question is not something that can be generalized, because इसमें बहुत सारे specifics छुपे हुए हैं, like where you are from, what's your family history, what kind of relationship you have with your parents, what kind of relationship you have with yourself. So I know many friends of mine who are living a very happy life currently. They have like really nice relationships with their spouses. They don't even have children now. They have enjoyed their life for 6-7 years and they are quite happy in their life. So ऐसे बहुत दोस्त हैं, तो मैं कभी नहीं बोलूँगी, I would never say that marrying in your early 20s is a mistake. But personally, on a very personal level, I know that मेरी शादी अगर early 20s में हो जाती तो my life would have been very different, and हो सकता है अभी तक मैंने जो कुछ भी अचीव किया है वो मैं कुछ भी नहीं कर पाती. But again, this is also possible that I would have different goals after getting married. मेरे दूसरे गोल्स होते लाइफ से, मे बी फैमिली करना है, अच्छे से हॉलीडेज़ पे जाना है, शॉपिंग करना है, खुश रहना है. आई एम नॉट सेइंग ऑल दीज आर रॉन्ग, दीज आर जस्ट टू डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ गोल्स, एंड करेंटली आई डोंट हैव दैट गोल्स. बट मे बी आफ्टर, इफ़ आई गॉट मैरिड व्हेन आई वाज 23-24 ईयर्स ओल्ड, हो सकता है तब भी अगर मेरी शादी हो गई होती 23-24 साल की उम्र में, तो शायद मेरे सपने अलग होते. और अभी जो मैं आप लोगों से बातें कर रही हूँ, अभी जो मेरे पास ये प्लेटफॉर्म है कि मैं इतने लोगों के सामने अपना ओपिनियन पुट फॉरवर्ड कर सकूँ, मे बी दैट वुडंट हैव हैपन, वो नहीं हो पाती है शायद. तो अगेन, दिस इज़ जस्ट माई थिंकिंग, आई डोंट नो, नोबडी नोज. लाइक in our life we make so many decisions on a daily basis, and every decision, if we took even a little bit differently, our life would end up in a different destination. Nobody can predict what would happen, but this is just my perspective from where I am now. And I when I was in my 28th year, like when I was 28 years old, I had written one article. It was called "Don't Get Married Before Your Second Puberty." सो इन दैट आई हैड सेड कि प्यूबर्टी नॉर्मली क्या होता है, जब हम लोग एक फिजिकल मेच्योरिटी रीच करते हैं. फॉर गर्ल्स इट्स व्हेन दे गेट देयर फर्स्ट पीरियड, and they also and for boys it's when their voice starts cracking, their beard shows up, they get body hair, and they become aware of the opposite gender. So this is what we call puberty, right? The age of physical maturity. But I have a theory that you shouldn't marry before you get your second puberty, which means when you reach emotional maturity. अभी इमोशनल मेच्योरिटी मेरे लिए जो है वो आपके लिए अलग हो सकती है. तो आई एम नॉट गोइंग टू गिव यू एनी स्पेसिफिक डेफिनेशन ऑफ अ सेकेंड प्यूबर्टी. अभी मुझे ये दिस वुडंट बी राइट ऑन माई पार्ट टू से दैट. सेकेंड प्यूबर्टी वो एज है जिस पे आपको इंटेलेक्चुअल और इमोशनल मेच्योरिटी हो जाती है उस एज में. एंड आई फील दैट I reached my second puberties in my very late 20s. In fact, I'm still going through the process. And I have no shame in admitting this, but I am still growing. It's a part of who I am. So, unless a person completes their second puberty, they shouldn't get married. And if you don't do that, these are the things you will achieve. First of all, you will know more about yourself because you're going to spend so much time with yourself, right? क्योंकि आपका कोई spouse नहीं है, कोई family responsibilities नहीं है, आपको खुद के साथ spend करने के लिए बहुत सारा me time मिलेगा. And इस me time पे आप लोग you can just introspect, think of your life goals. ये सोच सकते हो आपको क्या चाहिए अगले 10 साल में, 5 साल में, 2 साल में. And it would give you a better idea of what kind of person you want to spend your life with. See, early 20s में when you are 23 years old, it means you have been an adult for just 4 years, 5 years. So 5 साल की adulthood में आप क्या ही जानोगे अपने आप को. Like it has been so many years since I was 18 years old, but I still feel I don't know myself completely. तो 18 years में आप like 23 years में आप कैसे decide कर लोगे कि life का next 50 years या 60 years मुझे इसी person के साथ रहना है. Isn't that a huge commitment? Like just someone who is so young to decide how the rest of their life would look like, with whom the rest of their life would be spent. That's a very huge responsibility. अगर आप ये कर रहे हो इसमें कोई गलत बात नहीं है. It is very possible you make the right decision. But if you are not sure, then you shouldn't risk. इतना बड़ा रिस्क आपको नहीं लेना चाहिए इस एज में. नेक्स्ट, आपको ये भी पता चलेगा कि आपको किस टाइप के कनेक्शंस चाहिए अपने लाइफ में. लाइक अपने आसपास के लोगों में से आपको क्या ट्रेट्स चाहिए. Do you like to be around people who are fun and they love hanging out and party, or do you like to be around people who you meet like once a month and just have intellectual conversations on text or phone call? तो these are two very different kinds of relationships. and जब तक आपको ये नहीं पता आपको किस टाइप का relationship चाहिए, तब आप कैसे किसी को चुन लोगे as a life partner for the next 50 years of your life. And another very big perk of getting married late is that you have enough time to lay the foundation stone for the kind of life that you want to live. I know parents ये बोलते हैं कि अभी शादी कर लो, बाद में सपने पूरे कर लेना. बट सपने पूरे ऐसे इतना ईजिली नहीं होते हैं. यू नीड सो मच हार्ड वर्क टू मेक योर ड्रीम्स कम ट्रू, एंड इट्स अ वेरी लॉन्ग टर्म प्रोसेस. लाइक आई हैव बीन ट्राइंग टू मेक माई ड्रीम्स कम ट्रू सिंस लाइक द पास्ट 3 years 4 years मे बी, एंड अभी इट हैज़ जस्ट गॉट स्टार्टेड. 4 साल में अभी तक इतना भी प्रोग्रेस कुछ हुआ नहीं है. So how can someone who is 23-year-old or 24-year-old already lay the foundation for their future life? And before laying the foundation of your own life, if you start a new life with someone else, that's like even more responsibility. It's a huge responsibility. And अगर आप ले रहे हो ये decision, तो जान समझ के लो, जान बूझ के लो. Don't go into it blindly thinking I will figure it out, because it's a question of your life, right? Your whole next 50-60 years of your life. So you need to think of yourself as well as if you are capable of having a partner or a family. Next, because आप इतना टाइम अपने साथ रहोगे, you will know how you can be happy by yourself. Because if you don't learn to be happy by yourself, it's a very big possibility that you might end up depending on someone else for your happiness. I don't know about you, but college mein I used to see this a lot. Like I used to see girls and boys attach everything, their identity, their sense of self-worth, their happiness to one person. And अगर वो person के साथ breakup हो जाए तो these people were pushed to extreme lengths to get these people back in their lives, and often it ended up in disaster. Like very sad things had happened. तो आई एम प्रिटी श्योर आपने भी देखी होगी अपने कॉलेज में, स्कूल में ऐसे चीज़ें. तो if you don't know how to be happy with yourself, if you don't know how you can find happiness within your soul, it is a very big risk to attach your happiness, your identity, your sense of self-worth to some other person. So in that sense, it's very important that you learn to be happy with yourself before you take a leap of faith and marry someone else. And another great perk of waiting until your second puberty to get married is that since you are spending 5, 6, 7, 8 years of your adult life working, you would have some financial independence ताकि बाद में जाके if something happens, some emergency comes up, maybe health emergency हो, mental health emergency हो, family emergency हो, at least you would have some savings to fall back upon. 23 में आप शादी करोगे तो आपका सेविंग्स इतना नहीं होगा, आपका बैंक अकाउंट का साइज़ फ्यू लैक्स में होगा, मे बी 5, 6, 10 lakhs, 20 lakhs होगा. But if you get married in your 30s, you can have a strong backing of savings and it can help you in very tough situations. And in such cases, अगर आप अपने पेरेंट्स पे या पार्टनर पे ना डिपेंड करो तो बहुत it's very good for you as well. I know that इंडिया में स्पेशली सम स्टेट्स में प्रेशर होता है, बहुत होता है, शादी कर लो, जल्दी कर लो, सब अच्छे लोग चले जाएंगे, बाद में कोई मिलेगा नहीं, ये बहुत लोग बोलते हैं और ऐसा सोचा जाता है, ये माना जाता है कि ये सच है. But marriage is a huge responsibility and you need to learn how to take care of yourself first before you commit to another person. And that is why I believe it's very important to not marry before your second puberty. And if you do, there is absolutely nothing wrong with it, but you should do it knowingly. You shouldn't walk in blind and you should be fully aware of the consequences of your decisions. So yeah, यही है आज का वीडियो. This is a very different kind of video than I usually make because most of my content is educational. This was more like an opinion based social commentary thing which I don't usually do. But like I said, I made it for one person who I know, a young lady who is currently facing this dilemma. And this is what I would say to her, to someone who I love, about some big decision that they are considering. So I would love to know if you resonate with it, and if you don't agree with it, you can definitely let me know your thoughts in the comments. But please be kind, don't be rude. आप अपने point बिना rude हुए भी समझा सकते हैं. I would love to hear your comments and invite some healthy discussions in the comment section. So definitely comment. And if you think this video would help someone, अगर आपको लगता है कि ये देख के किसी को कुछ सोचने को मिलेगा, this video might help them in one decision of their life, then definitely share it with them. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more like this. I'll see you again soon. Until then, bye and keep smiling.